Nowadays, or even way back when, if you told people you were a magician, they automatically thought that you knew how to cheat at cards. That was a given fact. Not being able to do so was a sin. So whenever people told me to help them cheat at card games, I'm like, no, that's wrong. When in actuality, it was more like no, I just don't know how to cheat. But they couldn't know that. But then they just kept asking and asking and asking and asking, and it got to a point of something like this. You don't actually know how to cheat? What a loser. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but that's what it felt like. So today, regardless of what your level is at CardMechanic, I'm going to show you how to demonstrate your abilities as a card cheat. Stripper edition. Let me demonstrate to you how to cheat at a game of cards. So as per the usual, the deck is usually mixed up when you're first playing any kind of card game. So it's definitely not easy to try to set up the deck however you want or do anything like that. But here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to find a 4 of a kind. So let's pick a card at random, let's say the queen. We're going to try to find the 4 of a kind queens. Again, I'll give the deck a couple of cuts. Finding the first queen is pretty easy, but it gets more difficult when we have to try to find the second, third, or fourth queen. So hopefully my shuffling skills are up to par with what they were before. We're going to try it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, bam, there it is, the second queen. Take that, leave it right over here. And I feel a bit better. I feel a bit more cocky, better about myself. I'll let you give the deck as many cuts as you want. Let's just say something like that. You could even be a bit more intense with it. That's completely fine by me. Now finding the cards is going to be a bit tough. Say about here, maybe about here, but we're gonna try our best. You ready? 1, 2, boom, there it is. The third queen has been found, and now I feel good. I think this is a piece of cake. Take the deck, shuffle it up however you want. So let's say you want to shuffle it up like this. Let's say you want to give the deck a couple of cuts like this. Let's say you want to shuffle it up like this. But I mean, regardless of how you shuffle it up, we're gonna have to find that last 4 of a kind queen. Okay, this is definitely not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try my best. And if I don't try my best, I just may not succeed. Here we go. The last card for the 4 of a kind. Boom, the ace of spades. Oh, you thought I was dealing queens. Well, actually, that's why I kind of turned them over as I was dealing them, because you can't always win with the 4 queens, but 4 aces? Likelihood's pretty high. What up, crew? Hope you're doing well and welcome back to the channel. Unless you're joining me for the first time. If that's the case, then welcome for the first time. So I'm gonna be upfront with you and not bait you into watching this whole video if you're not gonna be able to do this trick. Because this trick requires a stripper deck. If you don't know what a stripper deck is or aren't too familiar with the concept, I did make a video talking about how exactly it works, as well as sharing a simple card trick that you can do with it. So check that out, I'll put the link to it on the screen and then come back. Now for those of you ready to proceed, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, grab your favorite stripper, and let's do it. Alright, so before we begin, just a little background on this effect. It is known as the Busted Bobtail by Gene Hugard, and this is kind of like my variation on it, because I feel like the method that he did really works well, but I kind of want to simplify it a little bit more and not have it be very repetitive. So this is what I came up with. And of course, you know, make sure you grab your stripper deck, otherwise if you don't have a stripper deck, you have to buy it and then come back. Unless you just want to know how the trick is done, then you can just stick around. So either way, let's go ahead and break it down. So first things first, I don't expect you to have any level of card mechanic type skills when doing this card trick. Otherwise, you know, otherwise we wouldn't be doing it with the stripper deck. So what you want to do is grab the 4 of a kind you want to use. So I wanted to use the 4 aces. So let's first go ahead, take out the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Look at that, all lined up just like that. Also have a blank card that this came with. It's pretty nice, but I don't really use it. And then grab the other, I guess, 4 of a kind, or we're going to actually be using 3 of that card. Grab a 3 of a kind that you want to use. I just decided to use the 3 queens, so I'm going to grab 1, 2, and 3 queens. Okay? So now we have all of these cards that we're going to be using. What you want to do is have the 4 aces, put 1 queen between each of the aces. So 1 queen here, 1 queen here, and I missed the middle, and 1 queen there. So that's your 7 card setup on top of the deck. Right, so once you have the 7 card setup, you're going to take it, put it on top of the stripper deck. But one thing to keep in mind is, right now all the cards are facing the exact same direction. But you want to take these 7 cards that you arranged, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, did I count wrong? Yep, 7 cards, turn them around, and now you're all set up and ready to begin. So whenever you're doing this trick, for example, let's say this packet was cut into the center, you should be able to kind of use your fingers here, your middle finger, thumb, ring finger, thumb, whatever you want to do, and strip out those 7 cards. So that's something you'll need to get comfortable with. is whenever you're doing this, be able to strip out those cards whenever you need them. Now, right before doing the performance, one thing I want to know, you want to make sure the edge is protruding out on this side. So when you pull this deck, or when you pull this packet, this is the side that's kind of sticking out a bit more. It just makes it easier. That's what I found, at least. It makes it easier for me to kind of strip this packet out. Now, when you're performing this trick, you first take the cards out of the tuck case, and a lot of this trick really depends on your performance, right? A lot of it doesn't depend on your technical abilities, although that does matter throughout the course of this trick, but it really focuses more on performance. So you can tell the spectator, and I like to start off by giving the deck a couple of cuts. I grab more than the 7 cards. I grab maybe like 14, 15 cards, and I say what do I say? I tell the spectator, let me demonstrate to you how to cheat at a game of cards, and I give the deck a couple of cuts. The reason I'm doing this is because it takes that pile, and you can probably see it sticking out right over here. It takes that packet of cards that we have reversed and puts it near the bottom. So at this point, what I'm going to do is, as I'm talking to the spectator and I show him I'm going to demonstrate the technique, I'm going to say, first, we need a card selected. So I come up here. I don't grab down here. I come up closer here, maybe around like, I would say almost halfway. I come halfway up the deck, put my thumb here, and my middle finger and ring finger on the opposite side of the thumb, and I start doing the Hindu shuffle. And what that's going to look like is you're grabbing a top packet from here, grabbing top packet, and you're going to keep on doing this until you get to the point where you kind of sense that the packet being pulled now is the packet that's right above. Right, so the packet being pulled is the packet that's right above where the cards are reversed. Right, so if you look at all these cards, one second. Now if you look at the cards that are on top, did I do something wrong? So if you look at the cards on top, they're going to be your reverse stack. Going through that one more time, you tell the spectator as you're telling the story that you're going to demonstrate how to cheat at a game of cards. You give the deck a couple of cuts. Now you're going to do the Hindu shuffle. And as you're coming through here, you're stripping those over. You're going to get to the point where you know that you can strip those cards out, move them up to the top, and now your stack comes right back up to the top. At this point, you tell the spectator we're going to have a card selected at random. And here you can probably tell from my performance, you're going to need to do a double lift, but not just an ordinary double lift. And this is where I guess I feel like I need to work on this myself. But this is where you have to do a double lift, but also reverse the direction of the cards. And let me show you why. So the version of the double lift that I do is actually very similar to David Blaine's version. You're going to actually use a pinky count or whatever kind of method you want to use. So 1, 2, pinky count to move up 2 cards. And now I grab here, I use my middle finger, ring finger up here, thumb on the bottom, and I spin this card around on, I guess, the base of my palm. So then I show the Queen of Hearts. So what this pretty much did was it reversed the direction the card is facing. The card originally facing this way, I need it reversed, so I come and did this, and I can put it back down on the deck, and that reversed the orientation of the card. If you guys know other methods of doing this, do let me know down in the comments. This is the only method that I found that works well for me, but if you have other methods, I'm 100% opening. What am I saying? I'm 100% open to hear you out. So now, from this point, those cards have been reversed. You're gonna take the top card, which is the ace, of course, and you put that down. And now the cool bit, this is what I love about the stripper deck, is now when you do the cuts again, if you strip out that packet, it automatically got rid of the queen since you turned both the cards around, which I thought was a really neat way to use the stripper deck. So again, the cards are on top, and I guess you had that one single card above on top as well, but I guess I showed you how to dish that card. And now you tell the spectator, okay, we got one card. We have one queen. Getting one queen is easy. And as I'm doing this, I'm mixing up the deck and I'm getting ready. So really, in my whole getting ready phase of mixing up the cards and trying to find the card, I just want to control my stack back up to the top of the deck. So now that I have it here, I tell the spectator it's easy. And usually as I'm gesturing here to the spectator and as I'm talking to them, I'm looking them directly in the eye so that I can get my pinky break easily, turn that around, and I can say, getting one queen was very easy, but getting the second one's more difficult. And then you can do your double lift and show, oh, there's my queen. Again, one more time, because I really have to emphasize this. You're changing the orientation of the queen. That's why I'm doing the double lift this way. To change the orientation, close it, and then put it down. So what that does is it allows us to lose this queen back into the deck, just like this. And now you tell the spectator, right, now this packet's somewhere in the center. Now you can tell the spectator, or even before you do that, let me not do that yet. I tell the spectator, let's say we have this on top. I tell the spectator, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident. I was able to do that one time. Now I want you to give the deck a cut anywhere you want. So let's say they give the deck a cut, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to try to focus on getting those, getting the next card to be a queen. Then you could do your shuffles as you've been doing pretty much, and control that packet up to the top. Need one more shuffle. Control that packet up to the top, and then you can do your pinky count here. Turn that around. Oh, look at that. We got the third queen. Now that was a bit more difficult, but now I feel very cocky about myself. I want to see if you can mix up the card in the deck and I can find it. So now really the only thing remaining is that one single reversed card, which is your last ace that you're going to be putting down. So you ask the spectator, you know what, you can take this and shuffle it up. I would say most of the time, at least every single time I've done this, no one has ever reversed the order of the cards. So you can hand this over to them, have them shuffle it up. They can give it the Hindu shuffle. If they want to give it the Hindu shuffle, they can give it like an overhand shuffle. If they want to give it an overhand shuffle, they could even riffle shuffle the cards together and give it a riffle shuffle, right? So they've pretty much done all that. The only thing remaining now is for you to do the last Hindu shuffle, or if you want to do a cut to bring that card to the top, you can give it a cut. And then you kind of reveal, and you're looking at the spectator while doing this. You just reveal, and here's the last four of a kind, and then you flip over the ace and show it to the spectator. At this point, they're almost impressed, but then they look at the card like, oh wait, that's wrong. And that's when you can say, well, usually you can't always win with four of a kind queens, but four of a kind aces, and you say that as you flip over the card, is very hard to beat. And there is the performance of Bobtail. What is it? The busted Bobtail, but the 4 aces version. Stripper decks are actually not too mainstream among magicians, and therefore normal people watching card magic are not too familiar with this concept. Mainly because magicians think they're too good to use stripper decks. Although I have to say I kind of fell into that category myself, and then I recently picked it up, and now I'm not that great with it, so... But I really do think the stripper deck has a lot of potential, so I'd encourage you, if you don't have one, buy this deck, try out a couple of things, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it. Thanks so much for spending your time with me today. It was a pleasure having you here. Have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you in the next video, or that one.